I guess we can talk about the biggest drama ever that has happened over the weekend. I know it's only been 2 days, but 2 days in internet time is basically like 100 years. The cake has cooled down a bit, and I think it's time to dig in. Here it is. This is the tweet that started the fire. So a bit of background about this. It's between the interactions of two content creators, two Genshin content creators. Braxophone, a guide maker, and Atsu. I think everybody knows Atsu at this point. So Braxophone has this entire document about his interaction with Atsu. I'm not gonna go over everything, obviously. This is, oh my God. But the gist of it is they have interacted in real life multiple times, but it seems like Atsu did not really like him that much. That's like the very broad explanation. They interacted with each other. Atsu didn't really like the guy, and now he wants an explanation why. But since he made an entire Google Docs about it, it's not, I don't think he wants a explanation anymore. This is more of a call out, you know? And I feel like this entire thing could have been avoided if Atsu had just stopped subtweeting. Like, I've seen him do this like more than once. I don't know why Atsu likes to subtweet people so much. For people that don't know what subtweeting is, it's like mentioning a person in a tweet without directly saying their name. An example would be something like that kid from that one TV show with an arrow on his head. Like, you don't directly name Aang from The Last Airbender, but you know it's Aang from The Last Airbender. That's what subtweeting is. And the issue with that is, like, even though you're not directly calling out someone, you can actually cause multiple people to be like, is he talking about me? And you could potentially have multiple people sort of coming at you. Like, I don't know why he likes to subtweet. Like, I feel like if you have beef with someone, just name drop them or have a direct conversation with them. Nothing good comes from subtweeting, I feel like. Yellow hair guy from Ninja Anime. Yeah. Didn't Atsu think of Brax as a stalker or something? Let me get to that. The thing about this entire document is there's no concrete proof of anything that Brax says. Like, as far as I'm concerned, I read through the entire thing over the weekend. Well, during the drama, because the drama lasted 10 hours for some reason. I don't know what kind of drama lasted 10 hours. Like, what is this? A Lord of the Rings marathon? I thought this would be like an hour, 2 hour thing, 10 hours. I feel like I have a pretty unbiased sort of stance on this, especially since I am a content creator for Genshin. I'm not really friends with anybody involved, so I can give a pretty unbiased stance on this, I feel like. Tectone's obviously biased. Well, he's biased, obviously, because actually, Braxophone got pulled into this because Atsu and Tectone were fighting about something. I forgot what they were even fighting about. It was something about the anniversary rewards, and then it got to this. Like, I don't even know how it got to this point. All I know is that this is the real starting point. Tectone was calling out CCs. That sounds pretty accurate, to be honest. That sounds like something Tectone would do. The thing about Tectone is, chat, I can sort of tell you how I sort of personally feel about Tectone. Tectone will only fight you if you want to fight. Tectone will only go at you if you go at him. Like, if you push him, he will push back. I know that because I've sort of poked fun at him before in one of the YouTube comments, and he read it. And you know how that interaction went? I can show you. So this is my message, right? I said, as a Genshin Impact player, I can vouch that my favorite streamer, Tectone, was the only person on the entire planet that thought John Lee on release was fine. That's it. The thing Tectone is highlighted because whenever somebody talks about Tectone, he likes to Control F to find his name in a YouTube comments. That's just what he does. After that, he DM'd me on Twitter, and this is my interaction. He screenshotted the message and said, that's crazy. And I said, yo, Big T, huge fan. Let me know if my fan interaction was good enough. He laughed and asked me to come on his podcast. Like I said, if you genuinely have no malicious intention behind your messages, he doesn't care. If you don't come at him hard, he does not care. He will only fight you if you actually want to fight. I couldn't come on the podcast because I was at work, chat. It was at 10 a.m. 10 a.m., dude. Chicken nuggets are not gonna pack themselves. I know Tectone can be very opinionated, but I genuinely don't think, like, I bet you if I asked Tectone to buy me a burger right now, he would do it. But Tectone began that drama. He just likes to call out people that have called him out before. That's it. If you genuinely mean no harm, he doesn't care. But if you want to start beef, he will start beef, and he will monetize it. Tectone made the drama personal, though. It's because of the drama they had before. So Atsu and Tectone had drama before where it involves one of Tectone's friends, or used to be friends, or still friends. The entire thing sort of made them quit content creation. Does that make sense? If you're the reason why, like, my friend quit content creation, I mean, I would be pissed too, and I'm gonna make it personal too. This is the most frustrating part about this. People on the internet just believes everyone without any proof. And this is why I don't fully believe this document. I believe the parts that has the pictures to. I do not believe any of the parts that do not have the pictures, because people are so quick on the internet to just believe other people's words, and I think is really unfair. I don't believe this document, but I also don't believe whatever Atsu says, because there's no pictures of it. Like, I can give an example of what I don't believe. Every single one of them thought it was weird as fuck, but one of them told me that they had heard from someone else. They didn't want to name the one who told them not to trust me, that I couldn't be trusted. Right here. That's just a statement. What I want from this statement is the actual image of the conversation. Like, that's what I mean by evidence. You can't just make a statement like this without presenting the conversation. Like, this is evidence, right? This is evidence. He's basically asking Atsu here, like, what he did wrong. And Atsu basically said he doesn't really consider himself to be at bad terms with him, but he doesn't really want to be friends either. That is believable because it's a picture, right? That is a fact. And there is also an instance where Braxiphone took a picture with a group, but then they edited the picture out, I think. Where is it? The same exact picture, but with Braxiphone edited out. His reasoning was these two weren't invited to the Conquest convention that was happening in Philippines, but they didn't have another photo that had everyone that was going to it. So he just edited the two people out, and that was the reason. Why didn't they just take another photo afterwards with the people that's going? You had everyone there. All you had to say was, hey, can we get the people that is going to Conquest in the same photo so I can post it on Twitter? At that moment, they had everyone there. You could actually give like a reasonable explanation to why these two people cannot be in the picture. Oh, because you want a group photo of the people that's actually going to the Conquest. So we gotta, I think they did take a separate picture. If they did take a separate picture, then why upload this fucking picture with these two edited out? Are you biased? I'm asking questions. Like, is that not the logical thing to do? He didn't think about taking the photo at this time since his wife is rarely traveling as him, one of the rare few they had. Should have thought of that. Hey, should have, could have, would have, but you didn't. What you probably shouldn't do is edit the guy out of the picture. I mean, like, if I saw that, I would be like, what the fuck too? Brax isn't the only person calling out Atsu. I know there's other people that's calling out Atsu, like this one over here, but nobody has evidence. A lot of people calling out, but there's no evidence. You know what I'm saying? Nobody has real evidence. It's all just witness testimony. If like 20 people come out and say they had bad experience with you, but there's no real conversation of you guys like actually having a bad conversation, it's just how you feel about the interaction with that person, people on the internet will probably believe you. Like, the thing is, I believe in innocent until proven guilty. The internet tends to do the opposite. Guilty until proven innocent. People likes to bandwagon on things, especially when 20 people say this. Oh, you have got to be right because 20 people have said this. This has to be true because multiple people have said this. That's just how it is. Like, what I want when Braxiphone mentioned that, oh, a friend told him that Atsu has warned them about Braxiphone. What I want is the actual picture of Atsu DMing or messaging the person, hey, you should be careful about Braxiphone. That would be evidence. That is believable. Like, everything else, just trust me, bro. So Braxiphone had 2 interactions with Atsu, essentially, and it's the second time that he thought Atsu was weirded out, and Atsu did agree that the second time was the time that he was weirded out by Braxiphone. The first time he met Atsu was at Anime NYC, and they just took a picture, and Brax has mentioned that he's a pretty socially awkward guy. The second time was at Anime Expo. What provoked him to write this much? This entire document started when Atsu subtweeted Braxiphone. That's the entire reason. Atsu was in an argument with Tectone and he subtweeted Braxiphone. That's the entire reason why this started. This would not have started if Atsu has just kept his conversation to Tectone and only involved Tectone. But unfortunately, when you subtweet something, if it's the wrong person, this is what happens. Are you implying it's Atsu's fault? You could say that. I don't have direct evidence, but it's implying. This is a cringe drama, like 2 12-year-olds fighting. It is like high school fighting. He said, she said, but you have to remember, both Atsu and Braxiphone basically have their reputation on the line. And if you are a content creator, your reputation is basically everything. It might seem like a small sort of like, children's fight to the people that is not content creators or bigger content creators that have a really big fan base. But to them, this is potentially life-changing to them. So basically, Braxiphone interacted with Atsu 2 times. So the second time he met Atsu, he stated right here, he started the conversation with the sexual allegations of a voice actor. Now, I'll be honest with you. If the second time I've ever met you, the starter you had with me was, hey, did you know about so-and-so's sexual allegations? I'd be weirded out too. But I would tell you to your face that it was weird. I'd be like, little bro, this is the second time we've met. You can't just come up to me and start the conversation with sexual allegations, okay? That's not the play, bro. That's not the play. Is it weird? Yeah, but you could have given them an explanation on why it's weird. Instead, you had him type up an entire Google Docs sort of calling you out after you subtweeted him, asking you why. If you think it's weird, just tell them it's weird. Be direct with people. And that's like I feel like that's the biggest issue is, like, from what I've seen in this entire thing, Atsu's never direct with people. He doesn't tell people directly. Instead, he talks about them when they're not there, maybe. That's like the allegation, obviously. I don't know if that's the truth or not. He subtweets people. Not the play. Not the play. And another weird thing about this one is Braxophone calls Atsu a ladder climber, like allegedly using your friends to sort of get more views. But like, this happens everywhere. Like, the example he gives is very weak. Of course, if you collaborate with like more popular content creators or like multiple content creators at the same time, you're gonna get more views because you have every single one's fan bases sort of converging. I don't think this example is that strong. And then you have the allegation of Atsu having direct influence on the decisions Hoyoverse makes on who to bring to different events. Again, no concrete evidence. So basically a lot of allegedly going on here, a lot of allegations, but no proof. If this was like in court, it would be just a whole lot of nothing. Like, it would just be like, nah, my friend said you said this, he said that. Nah, my friend said you said this. Nah, I mean this and this, and like, there's no evidence. It's just a whole lot of nothing. Like, normally when you see this kind of stuff, I feel like there's a lot of pictures. Too much I heard from them, too much I heard from you. Again, I feel like this entire situation could have been avoided if Atsu doesn't subtweet. Stop subtweeting, man. Even if you're not talking about Braxophone, this is why you don't subtweet. Even if you're not talking about Braxophone, the guy thinks you're talking about him. This could have been completely avoided on 3 different occasions. 1, the interaction. Braxophone came up to him and told him about the voice actor allegations. He could have explained to his face that it was kind of weird. You know, like, you don't come up to a person that you've met for the second time and tell them about sexual allegations as a conversation opener. That's not the play. Second of all, this picture situation could have been avoided had he said, hey, can we only get the people that is going to Conquest in the picture? I would like to post it on Twitter. That's it. That's all you need to say. If you forget it, don't edit people out. Even though your intention might not be intentionally excluding them, it's gonna give off the vibe that you are intentionally excluding them. And the third one is, don't subtweet. Just don't subtweet. You had 3 chances to prevent this canon events from happening, and you fuck up every single one of them. It still doesn't justify some of the accusations Brax made in his document. Again, accusations. If I was a judge, I would throw all of this out. Like, there's no proof. If you can't present me proof, I can't believe you. Same story with Atsu. A lot of Atsu's explanations don't have proof. He subtweets because he wants people to see it and expect people to agree with him. Sometimes replies don't show up on timeline. You can't play with a double-edged sword and get Pikachu shocked face when you get cut. Let's put it that way. It's miscommunication. It's how Atsu decides to do things, like talking behind people's back. Allegedly. I'm not saying he does. There's no proof that he does, but there's also no proof that he doesn't. Multiple people have stepped up and said that they have been warned by people that Atsu has talked to sort of, you know, stay away from them. Atsu also has mentioned that he has given lists to like Hoyoverse to sort of have a reference to content creators to bring to the events. If your friends want to be invited to your Hoyoverse event, you can tell them you can ask Hoyoverse, because apparently every single Hoyoverse content creator has a private access to someone working at Hoyoverse. I don't, because I'm not a Hoyoverse creator. If you have access to a Hoyoverse contact, you don't have to be the one that's like, I'm in good terms with this person. This person seemed like a good fit. You don't have to do that. If they're interested, you can tell the person, the content creator directly, sort of like, hey, you can contact the Hoyoverse person you have contact with and ask them if you can be invited to this event. This way, you don't have people accusing you of having direct access with Hoyoverse to sort of gatekeep who goes in and who doesn't go in. Does that make sense? At the end of the day, he's still submitting a sort of like a reference list to Hoyoverse. Yeah, just reference sheets, but he has control over what is on the reference sheets. Overall, it's just not a good look. That's basically it.